how to date a work colleague. I want you to watch all the way to the end of this video because there's two really important things you need to know if you're considering dating a work colleague. The first thing you need to know is everything about whether or not it's a good idea for you to even consider doing this. And the second thing you need to know is if it is something that you're determined to do, you need to know how to introduce it in such a way that it has the highest percentage chance of working, but also in a way that if it doesn't work out for you, you don't make it really weird with that person in your work environment. So I'm Ben Alexander from the Legends Academy, and we help guys with their confidence, dating, relationships, and financial freedom. And today I'm talking to you about how you can date your work colleague. Now, what you've got to understand is the guys we help with dating relationships, obviously we teach them how to meet any woman anywhere. So they have maximum options in terms of meeting women. Now, most guys that haven't learned that stuff yet, they are limited in terms of the women they can meet in their lives, okay? So one of the only real places that they get to meet women are places like through their social circle, so friends of their friends and so on, or work colleagues, so people they actually work with, or also maybe friends of work colleagues, and maybe, you know, some people they might bump into at the gym and different things like that, or friends of their family members and so on. So they're actually drawing from a very small pool, okay? So if they're looking for women out there that are compatible with them, because obviously to have a successful relationship, you need to have a woman that is highly compatible with you. So they're only actually looking in this very small amount of people to find a woman who is highly compatible with them. And as you can understand, you know, if there's, 1 in 1,000 women are highly compatible for you, and you're only meeting from a circle of women that might only be, from eligible women even that are able to be dated and so on, that aren't in relationships already, there might only be sort of 50 women or so that you're actually going to be able to encounter. All right, so what we do is we teach guys firstly how to massively increase the scope of the women they have the ability to meet by teaching them how to naturally and authentically meet and attract any woman anywhere. So I personally, I've met women on planes, I've met women in the supermarket, I've met women in bars and nightclubs, I've met women just walking down the street, I've met women at the beach. I mean, you can meet women anywhere using the stuff we teach, and our clients go out and do that. So the first thing to consider is the reason that you want to meet your work colleague or date your work colleague, or even considering that, is the reason for that because you simply don't have many other options to choose from, okay? So a lot of my clients, we all know that, there's this really crass expression, for example, don't screw the crew, which means, don't date the people in your workplace, the people that are in the crew, okay? And the reason for this is because obviously there can come a lot of problems from it. So when a relationship, if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, then you have to face that person maybe on a daily basis, and there can be problems in the workplace that emanate from that. And most people usually determine that the risk of that happening isn't worth engaging the person that you work with. So that's something you definitely need to consider with. Now, first and foremost, it is subjective. So you may, for whatever reason, meet the most highly compatible person. They may just happen to work with you. There's quite a low chance of that being the case, but it is possible. So if that is the case and you're 100% convinced of that, and you're not just bullshitting yourself that that's the case because you don't have any other options of meeting any other women elsewhere. So if you're 100% sure of all those things, and you absolutely, determine it to be a worthwhile thing to risk, potentially ruining or corrupting a work relationship with somebody, if it means that you and them can actually get a great dynamic going in the first place, then again, that's up for you to assess. But I would definitely say that you need to weigh up all those things and think, is this working relationship with this person worth corrupting or having a tough time at work? Is that worth it in order to date my work colleague? Am I only wanting to date my work colleague because I don't have any other options with women outside of my workplace or in my small social circle? I can't maybe meet women anywhere all the time, so I'm only going for this because it's just an easy option. And also, you need to consider, how long has it been that you've known this lady in your workplace? How long has it been, have you just sort of become friends with her and you chatted and so on, and then over time you thought, oh, actually, maybe I'll see if I can take this further. Because if that's the case, what you've got to understand is, when you meet women, or what we teach our clients is, if you meet a woman that you want to have a more than friends relationship with, so if you want to be intimate with her, you actually need to set that dynamic with her right from the beginning of the interaction. So if you have met this lady and you might have been working with her for a period of time, even months, even if it's only a few months, especially if it's years, and you haven't set that dynamic yet, then it might be too late in terms of she's already seen you, like you're a friend guy to her, you're in the friend zone as it were, and often it can be too hard to turn that around. So these are all things you need to consider before you even attempt to try this, okay? So let's say for whatever reason you decided that all those things are stacking up in your favor and you don't care either way, and you just don't care about risking your working relationship, and you're convinced that it's going to work out with this woman in your workplace, then there is a way that I would suggest for you to bring it up, and it has a very low percentage chance of rejection. It's kind of quite a soft way of bringing it up, which means that if, for whatever reason, she was like, oh no, I'm not really interested in doing that, it has very sort of soft consequences as a result of it. And so it maximizes, one, your chance of her agreeing if she is interested in it, but also it minimizes any damage that could happen if she isn't interested in dating you, okay? So this is a sentence I would suggest you use, and obviously you want to perhaps even consider writing this down. Now, before you say this, important things are, you want to have a smile on your face, okay? You should be smiling, because this is something that you're going to introduce in kind of a cheeky and fun way, and that's going to make her sort of more receptive to the idea as well. And also, if for whatever reason she doesn't buy it, like she doesn't like it, and she's like, oh no, and she's totally weirded out by the idea you would even introduce this, then you need to very quickly move on and just drop it. If you bring this idea up and you can't convince this lady, chances are she's already made her mind up about you. And if you just sit there trying to press it and carry on pushing the issue, if she's already made it clear that she's not interested in dating you, you need to drop it straight away and just carry on with conversation other than about you and her dating. Because if you push it afterwards, all you're going to do is make it weird for her, make it difficult for her. And then, especially is going to minimize any possible chance that in the future she might reconsider. So it's really, really important that you respect whatever her answer might be, and understand that, oftentimes women are under a lot of pressure in working relationships, and they want to build and nurture great relationships with their colleagues and also clients. And because of this, they will often actually be a lot nicer and kinder to you, and maybe even a little bit flirty with you, just because they're trying to nurture their working relationships and further their career. And it doesn't mean that they actually want to be dating you and stuff like that. So you have to also factor that in. But if you are, and you weighed all that up and you're 100% sure you want to proceed, this is how I would introduce it, again with a great smile. I would say, hey, it's actually a shame that you and I work together, because you're actually kind of cute, and if we weren't working together, I'd totally let you take me out for a coffee. All right, so that's what I'd say. And what this does is it introduces it in a fun way. Now, you're also positioning yourself as the chooser. So you're saying, I would let you do that. So it's like you're deciding whether or not she's good enough for you. So that's a great thing to do. The next thing as well is you're dismissing the fact that it can happen. You're saying, well, it can't happen because you and I are actually already in a working relationship. So, oh, well, I guess it can't happen. But it also introduces the idea of you and her dating, and it puts the seed in her mind. And if she's like, oh, actually, I've liked this guy for ages and I've been waiting for him to maybe bring it up, it's actually provided the opportunity for that to come up. She goes, oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'd actually love to have gone and got a coffee with you or gone on a date with you. But I thought, because we're working, that maybe you wouldn't be interested, or that it would be weird, or we shouldn't do that. Okay, so it just provides a forum and an opportunity for the topic to come up, but in a way that's quite low pressure, because you bring it up in a way that's kind of like, oh, it can't happen. Oh, well, it's a shame we work together. It's not going to happen anyway. And so, if she goes, oh, what? I'd never date you, or something like that, you go, whoa, I said it can't happen, right? Anyway, let's get on with work, or let's carry on with business. And you can just drop it straight away. What I want you to do is comment below, put some comments in there, let me know what you think of my ideas and thoughts around dating work colleagues. Is it something you would do? Would you ever date a work colleague, or would you just say, look, it's just totally not worth it. It's not worth having all that drama in my life. I would rather just learn how to meet any woman anywhere, and then I can actually just go out there and meet women all over the place. And if that's something you'd like to learn how to do, then please contact Legends Academy, and we'd love to show you how you can naturally and authentically meet any woman anywhere. Also, please give us a thumbs up, like the video if you enjoyed it, and remember to share it with a friend. And also, most importantly, remember to subscribe to our channel, wherever that little button thing is down there, depending which, if you watch this on mobile or on the web. So thank you so much for watching. We love showing you these videos. And remember, most importantly, to stay legendary out there.